All right, let's go through our first discussion right from the days of learning. The letters of the alphabet to learning numbers. Teachers have always been there to impact knowledge.
And teachers nurture, train and model lives and are very important to the society. Now, if you're a teacher, then today is your day. This year's theme, Teaching in Freedom, Empowering Teachers, aims to reaffirm that the empowerment of teachers is top priority in all education and development strategies.
Well, while we celebrate and appreciate our teachers today, we will be looking at their plight, welfare, and how they can be empowered. Well, according to the Nigerian Union of Teachers, 13 states still owe teachers salary arrears. Let's celebrate our teachers on this World Teachers Day as TVC Breakfast remembers the more than 2,000 teachers said to have lost their lives in the Northeast since the Boko Haram insurgency started there. Absolutely.
All right, we celebrate teachers indeed. Well, we have the chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Segun Rahim, in the studio with us this morning. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, the first time World Teachers Day was marked in Nigeria, October 5, 1994. How much difference really has that day made in the life of the Nigerian teacher when it comes to the issues of welfare and so many other issues that concern the Nigerian teacher?
Yeah, let me first of all congratulate the entire teachers in the world, particularly those in Lagos State, for having their day today. Now, the United Nations Charter actually initiated the day 1994, but it did not start in Nigeria until 1996, when it was a whole affair in Unilag. When you now look at how it was done that the entire Nigeria, NUT Nigeria as a whole, and brought in, I think, 10 delegates from each of the states to meet at, they assembled in one of the halls in Unilag, and they celebrate. But today, as I am talking with you now, the head office is having its own celebration in Abuja. Lagos, we are having our own at Yaba College of Technology, and all our 20 local government branches are having theirs too in all the local governments. This is to say that we have come of age to let our teachers know that it is their day and they must be celebrated.
But then looking at how the celebration per se now, how teachers have been taken care of, going back to the question of welfare, because teachers have huge responsibility of imparting knowledge, nurturing the future leaders of any country. But does this now correlate in the welfare? Nigerian teachers, as example now, they get from the government.
I will limit myself to what happens in Lagos. Because when you talk of Nigeria as a whole, then it means that we'll be talking about 36 different states. When you talk of Lagos, without being biased, Lagos State government has been very good, very consistent to majority of our welfare as teachers. Our salaries has been coming as at when due. We are not part of the 13 states who have been listed for inconsistency in salary payment. Our allowances have been going on, and remunerations also follow. Infrastructural development in schools were on. Not that there are no areas of challenges, there are, but when you now compare what happens here to what happens in other
parts
states,
of the country,
I must be very frank with you that this government in Lagos State is at least very wonderful. Well, lastly, let me say that we propose, NUT, through GNC, propose to the government that instead of having a promotion examination through written and oral, why don't we go for structural training that will improve not only the lives, but the quality in workers? He agreed with us. And for the first time, the entire teachers in Lagos State that attended the interview for 2017, all of them passed, and they are promoted. And you can see the zeal in them. That is what we call internal motivation.
Okay, it's interesting you talk about that, because the TRCN, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, came up with a very surprising and shocking report recently that about 207,000 Nigerian teachers are unqualified, Nigerian primary school teachers. And of course, this calls to, speaks to the fact that there is a serious need for training and retraining and the structural improvement that you just talked about. What does that portend for the future of education in Nigeria and for every other sector of the country? If at the foundational level you have so many unqualified teachers teaching the children.
That is why we have to appreciate the government that actually established that law which put in place Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. That is the commencement, the turning point, or in the act of teaching as a profession. Having said that, it now connotes that every person who must go into that industry must be professionally qualified. And for you to be qualified, it is not you having a degree of education that makes you a teacher. No. You have to go through that council, pass the exam, get the certificate.
Well, there are many teachers, not just in Lagos now, but across the country that are, yes, they are educated, but didn't go through that. And there are many in private schools, especially. So are private schools regulated? The teachers there, the members of the council? They are not, because of the proprietors. You know, they want to maximize gains, and to allow them to unionize will be a problem to them. That is what they say. We are coming into that. And in fact, we have gotten to a stage where we need to tell them that teachers are the same. They needed to, we have gotten a council. If you don't have a license to teach, it's a criminal offense. Just like not having a license to drive. So, if TRCN has come out to say that we have a lot of us who are in the classroom, who are not certificated, who are not licensed to teach, that is not too far away from the truth, because of the fact that the agencies that recruit for each state governments, they have their parameters for selection. But, in Lagos
specific
State,
agencies that recruit teachers for schools, and I guess that would be for public schools.
Yes.
The teacher training colleges, do we even still have them? When you talk about training for teachers, where do they go to get training, apart from those who do education in the university?
No, teacher training colleges have been scrapped.
They've been scrapped?
They've been scrapped.
Was it a good thing to even scrap them in the first place?
The entry point into teaching now is colleges of education. When you get Nigerian certificate in education, then you are trained, at least they have prepared you into teaching. What TRCN do now is that at the point of exit, they come and give you exam, then they give you the certificate, which of course is like you getting out of university, you read law, and you go to law school.
All right. So confirm to us as well, SPA training, and of course advancing in your knowledge as a teacher, that there is a mandate kind of in Lagos that teachers need to even advance academically, maybe get their postgraduate exam degrees before they even continue or get promoted.
That's not true. That's not true. You see, you have an entry point, but what happens in Lagos is that what makes you being promoted is as a result of what impacts, what do you add into the advancement of education and the system. And so everybody is encouraged to actually do more, better than your point of entry.
Well, listening to you, you've been talking about Lagos State and you know, the enviable position that the teacher in Lagos occupies. But it's not a true reflection of the condition of teachers all across the country. Like we stated earlier in our intro, about 13 states are owing salaries. Of course, the Minister of Education, Adamu, has said that the backlog of salaries will be paid and all of that. But do you need a World Teachers' Day for, you know, the government to even pay attention at all to the issues of teachers?
Yeah, you see, what Teachers Day is like it's like a celebration. It's like our own layer, wherein a time to call on government and all those who are in charge of education, all stakeholders, to look into why there must be teachers. The teacher is the sine qua of anything you call development.
Absolutely.
You in TVC, if I tell you and convince you that 2 + 2 is 3, you agree because you are my student. And you go out to say 2 + 2 is 3.
But Fela has an answer for that. teacher.
because you are taught by a teacher.
Another teacher.
Yeah,
the implication of that is that there is no country whose knowledge will be higher than that of its teacher. So it is what you are taught that you can't deliver. You can't build something on nothing. And that is why we are calling through the national body of NUT that let us look into teaching. In 2016, this World Economic Summit, they came out to say that for Nigeria, no, 2015, that for Nigeria to progress, that they must invest in teaching. And most of these states have not been investing in teaching. This is what Lagos did. And the result is what we are seeing.
Of course, for an economy to grow, it has to move towards a knowledge-based one. We'll continue the discussion after this short break. Stay with us on the show. We'll go on a short break now.
All right, you're welcome back. It's TVC Breakfast and it's World Teachers Day. Let me bring this quote from the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu. Irrespective of the sector, whether formal or informal, everything depends on teachers. Very true. But the question is, how seriously does government take this particular issue of teachers? Well, our guest is Segun Rahim. He's the Nigeria Union of Teachers, Lagos State. He's the chairman of the Lagos State chapter. Thanks for remaining with us. So, looking at what the education minister has said, vis-a-vis the position in terms of budgetary allocation for education in Nigeria, how seriously do you think that government really takes education as it pertains to the welfare, teachers generally?
That kind of a thing is very funny. Releasing money for education and spending into education, they are two different things. If, for instance, Nero is giving 100,000, take care of the school. From that money, he gets a special assistant, a special advisor, a special this and that. Those two are spendings. At the end of the day, nothing goes to the classroom. So you now continue to make your evaluation based on how much of such budget gets to the classroom. And that is where we have the problem. When you have a budget like that, why not you give it to states, from states, to the principal or head teacher of the school?
And there is another problem. Yes.
Let them be accountable to what happens in their various schools.
And that is another challenge, because teachers a few months back protested that they don't still want local governments, to be in charge of their payments. So tell us why that is, because I noted it where you said from the state government straight to the principals.
Thank you.
Why
let me say this. Local government should agree with us that they are not doing us any favor when the constitution gives them the role to pay teacher salary. In the first instance, they were not the one paying. A particular percentage of the federation account or something is being given over to them to actually accommodate the payment of teachers' salary. In the first instance, no local government could appoint a teacher. By law, a local government cannot appoint any officer above level 6.
Okay.
And teacher commences with level 7. So you don't pay what you don't
appoint. So you don't have the power to
appoint.
So
as much as people are not talking of autonomy, we are not against it. What we are saying is that let the salaries and allowances of teachers go back to, be taken as a matter of first charge from the federation account to UBEC, Universal Basic Education Commission, who will now give them to each state Primary Education Board.
But there have been issues with the same
because
UBEC.
in the 90s,
there have been
exactly.
serious
in the 90s,
of misappropriation and all
1990,
that.
91, 92, whatever you see now in our educational system actually started from there.
Okay.
That was a time when autonomy is not a new thing.
All right,
It has happened before.
Oladele at this point
Yes.
now to make the discussion more robust. Let's hear what Nigerians are saying about teachers' welfare. Good morning
So just
to
putting
Fola.
you on hold, you're a bit surprised about that.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Mr. Remy.
Yeah, thank
By the way,
you.
before I go on, are there any special teachers from your primary and secondary school
Oh,
that you'd
so
like to
many
shout
of
out?
them.
Yes, I remember Mrs. Olateju, secondary school. One day Abimbola VC, Obafemi Awolowo University.
Yeah.
How about you?
I remember Mrs. Owoyemi. She made mathematics so interesting, and then English as well in primary school. And secondary school, I have so many of them that I can't even begin to count. Almost all the teachers.
Okay, so from secondary, I remember Mr.
well.
Adigbemo because he taught us some very vital things in the English language, and he corrected a lot of words that we would always get wrong. All right, so let's get into the tweets and find out what people are saying and which issues are being raised about the teaching profession in Nigeria. Dr. Dipo Awojide says, shout out to all primary and secondary school teachers in Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Yeah.
Olusegun Onigbinde says, after 35 years of service, my mom, a primary school teacher, retired today. Her last salary was 113,000 naira. I'm so proud of her. And he continues and he says, I grew up learning how the work of a teacher was thankless. We lived through all the times of want when my dad lost his job in '96. DMJ says in Nigeria, teachers go on a strike to be paid $600 per annum, and at Aso Rock expects them to produce leaders of tomorrow. Mr. Shegun Hassan says, our education in Nigeria is dead. Go to schools and you will hardly find teachers who are actually passionate about the job. Hold on, I'll come back.
Okay.
And King Maimuna says, soldiers, teachers, and doctors should have the best welfare package of all professions in Nigeria. Only politicians do. Okay,
Sadly.
so someone's saying that, questioning the passion of teachers in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I know you want to respond, so please go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. Unlike before, when I was in primary school, I started primary school in 1970. The basis of what is taught then is a slate, 2 pieces of chalk, nothing more. You only write on the slate, you clean off. But the passion that teachers have then, and of course, the nobility they place on the job, wanted everybody to be a teacher. So the best brain and the family will be proud to make them a teacher. It is about you being the pride of the family. Today, economy serves the mode upon which family prides. Sure, you understand now? That is why today, when you look at our economy is in the area of social media and maybe entertainment. You see somebody who read law in school, the second day he's a theater artist because some other theater artists are riding. And that's why majority of those who are now studying education are people who do not want to in the first instance. But as a matter of fact that they just find themselves there. What government should do from the national, from the center, is to bring back the nobility in teaching. How will they do that? Let it compete favorably well with all these other areas of concern in economy. If you give teacher salary scale to a teacher today, like a doctor will go, a student will pass a secondary school, he will go to university for 7 years, he comes out to be a doctor, right? Okay, the second student goes to College of Education, use 3 years and 4 years in the university, and comes out the same 7 years, become a teacher. One, being a doctor, is giving grade level 12. The other one, being a teacher, is giving grade level 8. Can you see the disparity? Nobody will go in there. Give teacher what they deserve today, and everyone will want to be a teacher. That is where you'll be able to now pick who are the best among them.
All right, thank you very much for the analysis. Well,
Very
China,
well put.
South Korea, and Singapore are the countries in the world where teachers are most appreciated.
Singapore, to be very precise.
And it's only Egypt that is ranked among the Global Teacher Status Index
In
as
Africa.
in Africa.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your analysis at this time. Shegun Rahim, you're the chairman of NUT and National Union of Teachers Lagos chapter. Thank you for coming.
And I must add, you have been a good representation of the Nigerian teacher.
Thank you so much.
Polly, thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again.